So, hi, Only Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with.
Hi, I'm Carson from the Callous Daoboys.
And we're some questions today about their new album, I Don't Want to See You in Heaven. So, congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the album so far?
It's awesome, man. It's been really cool. I think that, every time we've released something, it's been like more and more people getting on board and stuff like that. And it's, cool that the people that already liked us are pretty on board with this one also. It feels like the one, it feels like this is the one that is really connecting with everybody that listens to it. There's some haters for sure, but I don't hear them. It's all
just noise
to me. It's all noise.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
That's right.
Bad noise.
Yeah, bad noise podcast.
Bad
There you go.
Sort of an evil version of noise.
Yeah, that's the evil version of Good Noise Podcast.
hosted by Sorry and Gain.
Whoa.
That's great.
Scared me a bit.
Well, the record is fucking incredible, dude.
Don't even get me started. Genuinely, don't.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, y'all. I appreciate the that's cool. I'm glad y'all like it, because I feel like y'all listen to a lot more of the I hesitate to say like mainstream stuff that y'all like.
Yeah.
No, we
you
do.
guys just listen to a bunch of stuff that is not for me, and you're always like, this is awesome, which is cool. That's fine. But I just with an audience like that, I do get concerned that like what we do isn't going to connect. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Of course, man. It's Daoboy season. You got to rock with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I hope it's still Daoboy season.
Dude, it's always Daoboy season.
I hate that we said that at the same time, Glory.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. So, is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, I mean, of course. The title was just like something that I found to be like incredibly relatable. I think that like everyone has had that feeling about someone else where it's like, even if you don't believe in some kind of afterlife, it's like, fuck that person. I don't, like, I don't want that. If there is an afterlife, I don't want that person there, I think that there was like a lot of people that I just kind of, impulsively felt that way about. And also like in the meta narrative of the like Museum of Failure stuff, there's like, the idea is that art lives on forever, right? And then like, the idea of just living forever personally tying into that also, it's like, in a way everyone does, whether you believe in an afterlife or not. So it was just like, not only do like I impulsively, not it's like, a little paradoxical to like not want someone to make it to some kind of afterlife, but also to think of your art living on 300 years from now. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And the album cover was like honestly just kind of something I saw like in my head one day. The like funeral thing on the back of the high vis vests was I can't like find another instance of this, but I was behind a motorcycle police officer that was fought like in a funeral procession, and he had that written on his high vis, and I was like, man, that is kind of hard. Like that is like kind of awesome.
Yeah.
And I just kept thinking about it and I couldn't get rid of it. And I don't know. I think that the artwork being a mystery is like kind of my favorite part of all of it. And like it looks so cool. It's so sick. The meaning behind it is just
it's dope.
So sick.
Badass.
Man. It's dope.
Yeah.
Fuck with it.
Yeah. And Sean's just Sean, the guy that does the artwork, he's so talented. He did the celebrity therapist artwork too, and he's gonna do the next one also. So I already have like what the next one looks like, and I know he's gonna kill it. So I'm really excited.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about the writing process for the album?
Yeah, sure. Some of these were like pretty old songs. Like, I think I have a first demo of Full Moon Guidance from like 2021. It was very, very different, had a completely different chorus and like different lead ups and stuff like that. Just a very different song, but the bones were there, the main riff was there and stuff. Um, and I think a lot of it was just like kind of cobbled together in this like very slow process, which is honestly not usually how we work. Like,
Mhm.
um, Celebrity Therapist, I wrote Celebrity Therapist in probably 6 months, and then I wrote God Smiles upon the EP. I wrote that in like I I want to say like a weekend. Like I like
Damn.
some of the bones were there and stuff, but like
Yeah.
it was just like I had the beginnings of 3 songs and it was like I'm just gonna finish them this weekend, and it was like super easy in that respect. This one was hard. This one was just like the scale of it and the scope of it was so big that like I think that it kind of had to come together that way.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um like uh Body Horror for Birds, like the first like minute and a half of that song was written in between tours in 2022.
Mhm.
Country Song in Reverse, like we had the beginning of that song like the end of 2022. Like there's just so many things that like we had like bits and pieces of, but it was like, yeah, I don't know if these are songs. And then last year and 2023, it like really came together. But like the other ones, like Two-Headed Trout, I was watching Ocean's 12 on a plane back from Europe, and I
Uh,
heard the little sample that we use in at the beginning of Two-Headed Trout, and then like instantly on that flight I had the whole song.
Dope.
Like lyrics, structure, everything. I like had that whole song just from hearing that little thing.
Mhm.
Um so like inspiration just would strike here and there. And this one was just like such a behemoth to put together because
Yeah.
like you know a track like Tears on Lambo Leather comes before Lemon. And
Yeah.
like that they're like they couldn't be more diametrically opposite, but it was
Mhm.
like, when we were putting it together, it was like that's kind of the point. Like
Mhm.
it kind of just works, we don't really know why. But like I think I've said before, maybe even on this podcast, like I don't know where these ideas come from. I'm just a receptor for them. I'm an
Yeah.
antenna,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. Um so like I don't know where these things come from, and the way it came together was just so cool. I mean, like
Mhm.
I think a lot of people are like one of the main criticisms is that like the concept is half baked, and it's like, all right, man, if that's what half baked is, like I don't know how to put
Fuck,
more of
man.
myself into
Yeah,
this.
you're
Yeah,
like, then I'm gonna
exactly.
need
Like,
another 4 years to
yeah,
fully
how
bake a
the fuck
concept.
else am I gonna do that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You guys cool
So I'm
waiting a
just,
decade for the next record?
yeah,
Jeez,
exactly.
like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
exactly.
god.
But
Okay.
you know,
Wow. So, how much of this record was written in the studio? Because you said a lot of these tracks were written 3 years ago, at least the baseline of them. So then, what was kind of the full spectrum of it, the timeline of it?
um, I mean, so some of them came together in like 2023 and 2024, but none of it was
Mm.
written in the studio.
Okay.
But and I think we're different from some other bands in that respect. We don't write anything in the studio ever. We always just go in with like the completed song. But that's just because I'm such a perfectionist about stuff. Like, I put a like little 40-second clip of something that I'm working on for Daoboys on Twitter yesterday, and it was like, that is like probably the seventh version of where that's been at,
Jesus.
and it's
Yeah.
like some versions didn't even make it to the rest of the band, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I am just I know how to serve the song at this point.
Hmm.
At least to my tastes, maybe not to other people's tastes. Maybe other people think it should have a fucking Nashville chorus in the middle of it. I don't think so. But um it's just um it's just how it is for us, is like we don't go into the studio with like, yeah, I don't know, we'll see when we get there. Like it's just
Hmm.
not something that we do.
Fair enough.
Gotcha. Makes complete
Yeah.
sense. So, what song off the album took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
They're one and the same actually. At
Okay.
this point, my favorite is kind of constantly changing, and especially as I've been rehearsing the whole record for this tour.
Hmm.
We're not playing the whole thing, but we're basically playing the whole thing.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, right now my favorite is Country Song in Reverse.
Okay.
And that one absolutely took the longest. It was like probably like I said, we had like the opening like jazzy section for it. The like first 3 minutes of it in 2022. And like Maddie and I would talk about it a lot. Maddie,
Hmm.
our guitar player, and I would talk about it a lot. She'd be like, because it was originally called Waspy. It was just that was the name of the song was Waspy.
Hmm.
And we talk about it all the time. Like I'd be like, oh man, like we gotta work on Waspy at some point. Like we gotta figure out what that song is. Like we talk about it all the time, but we would never execute it.
Yeah.
And originally that beginning was in free time. So like there was no drums behind it. It was just like kind of loose guitar playing with violin
Hmm.
bouncing off of it, which we thought was a really cool idea because we've never done anything like free time before. Like we've done wild stuff, but we've never done free time.
Hmm.
Um and we thought it was so cool, but then like I was like, what if I could just play that on tempo? And then I think I sent it to her and she was like, yo, this is it. Whatever this version of the song
Yeah.
is it. And we just kept going and kept going and kept going. And you know, we ended up with this 12-minute song, which we love it. Like we think it's awesome. Like I think that basically everybody in the band thinks it's our best song.
Hmm.
Um, even though like it's probably the least popular off their record because it's 12 fucking minutes long.
It's
Um,
okay.
yeah. But like, you know, that was something where we just kept going and going, and it was really rewarding, but it was so hard. And
Hmm.
like the day that we recorded it, it's in a weird tuning. It's in B standard, which is like really low for all the guitars that we play. We don't play any seven strings or baritones or anything like that. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, I think we're too stupid to know how those work. But in the studio, like we just couldn't like our guitars couldn't stay in that tuning.
Mhm.
Like it was
Crazy.
just we were constantly going out of tune. And then for our process, like I do all of the electronics and synths and stuff. And then I just take them from my laptop and I bounce them to our producer Dom.
Mhm.
And day of recording it, he's like, "Can you send me the synths and electronics and everything?" And my laptop wouldn't open the file. Like
Uh-oh.
no matter
Oh.
what we did, the file was just too big because it was a
Hmm.
12-minute song. It
Yeah,
was
that's crazy.
impossible to open. So I had to remake a lot of it just like
Oh.
on the spot. And
Yeah.
like it was so stressful. It fought us so hard to the point where like one day I put in the group chat, I was like, guys, should the record just end with Distracted by the Mona Lisa? And everyone was like, no,
No.
no,
Yeah, no.
absolutely not. They're like, just fucking finish
Yeah,
it.
they're like,
And like,
Exactly.
get
Just
back
lock the
to it.
fuck in.
Yeah.
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 And then, so even after that, like, even after the song was like completely done, like, Dom called me one day. He's like, you got to come in and retrack some of these guitars. They're out of tune. So,
Oh my
like,
God.
dude, it was like
This is
that
a fight all
song
the way through.
that song was a fight all the way through, but like at the end of it, when I finally was able to listen to it, I was like, holy shit, like we actually did this. Like
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
fucking believe that we did this. Because I think I may have even mentioned it, but like I've mentioned it a lot actually. There was a 9-minute song on Celebrity Therapist that got cut
Mm.
and everyone hated it. Everyone hated it. Everyone was like,
Yeah.
this is
It
the
was an easy
worst.
cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Um, and like you know it was just so awesome to prove that we could do it, you
Yeah.
know, and make it
Hmm.
even longer than 9 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You made it
Exactly. Yeah.
three
big
extra
middle
minutes.
finger, big middle finger to the people that used to be in our band that said that we couldn't do it, you know.
There you go. Hell yeah.
You
Hell
did it
yeah.
and then some. Look at that.
There.
except
Hmm.
except Sam, our former drummer. because he's
Shout out.
definitely watching this. He watches like every interview I do and then texts me about it.
Hi,
But-
Sam.
Hi, Sam. Hi, Sam.
I'm
Oh.
curious on if you guys were ever able to salvage the original file that you were unable to open, and if you were able to
Never.
kind of compare. No?
Never, yeah.
Just lost.
I have it on a hard drive somewhere, but like um I got a new laptop and I mean I even tried to open it on there and it just wouldn't. And like, you know, at this point the song's out, so like
Yeah.
it's cool, but like, you know, it is yeah. It's like
It's
one of those
gone.
things where you're like, fuck,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm.
it does feel like it's just gone.
Yeah, down
Yeah.
to the void.
So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be the closer, shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
Hilariously, we originally had country song like track 5,
Mhm.
which then we were like, people are gonna turn it off.
Yeah,
if we do
that would
Yeah.
have boded real well.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
scary.
we're like, yeah, you can't put a 12-minute song in the middle of the record.
Mhm.
Although Norma Jean has a 17-minute song smack dab in the middle of the record.
I would
on
skip
one
that
of their
Damn.
shit. I would
which-
just
Yeah,
the skip
it's
button.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
Oh,
but-
well.
Well, as we said earlier, it sounds like we have slightly different music tastes.
Yeah, I showed my mom noise music the other day because I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was scraping something out of a bowl and it made like a nails on chalkboard sound, and she was
Mhm.
like, I hate that, and I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that, and she was like, well, you don't like that either, and I
You're
was
like,
like,
no, that's music to my
actually,
ears.
you'd be surprised.
There's actually a genre of that I
I was
love.
like, you'd be surprised at what I enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, what the hell was I saying? Oh, track listing.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there was originally a like really slow song that began the record, and you hear it in the back of the intro track with the narration on it.
Mhm.
The like piano and saxophone thing that you hear in the background was originally it had lyrics and it was the opener. And it just didn't work. It was just so slow and dreary for an opening track. But then when we had like when we were like, you know, Schizophrenia Legacy, like opening the record is crazy. Like we thought it was such a cool move. And we thought that was awesome. In like pretty much every draft of the track listing, Lemon came after Lambo Leather, which we were like, we just thought it was so funny to have like probably
Hilarious.
the heaviest song we've ever made
Mhm.
come immediately before the poppiest like song, the
Exactly, yeah.
poppy no screaming song, you know. And then Lemon and Body Horror for Birds are the same tempo, so we knew that those were going to go into each other. That was always the plan.
Mhm.
Which was completely accidental. We didn't write them to be the same tempo. Just one day we discovered it and we were like, oh, cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I am somebody that really pays attention to like momentum with records, and I think that like what makes people turn a record off is not bad songs, it's the flow
Mhm.
usually. So like for example, 17-minute track is track 5. Of course you're going to turn that off. Of
Yeah.
course you are.
I'll lose a couple people.
I'm built different.
Yeah, unless your
and
name
I
is
love
Carson Pace, then you're
There
like,
you
dude,
go,
you're tuning
yeah.
in.
You turn it up.
and you're a total fucking psycho like me. Yeah, no, like that's what makes people turn records off. Is pacing. Pacing was the word I was looking for. So I pay attention to ours like extremely carefully, and like, you know, I have notes on what I would have done differently on how to pace Celebrity Therapist, and you know, I have different ways that I would pace Die on Mars and that kind of thing. But with this one, it was just like I was like, I am going to just lock in and get it right.
Mhm.
And when we figured out that little douchebag safari into Distracted by the Mona Lisa transition, it was like magic. The first time I heard it, I was like, this is maybe the best thing we've ever done. This is so cool, you know?
Yeah.
Because it goes again, it's going from, you know, an extremely heavy, weird, like what is effectively a dubstep song and into, you know, the Fall Out Boy song on the record. So
Yeah.
This happened the
So,
last time I did this. I talked way too much on the last one. I'm talking way
but
too
that's
much
the
on this one.
point. That's the point. It's a
I
podcast.
It's
You're
a
know.
supposed to
I
do that.
know.
podcast. We got
I
I'm
time.
Great.
And
Awesome.
I'm so curious because that's the I mean, you've said it multiple times even before we started recording where you think that this is your best work yet. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I believe bands should think that with every new release,
Hmm.
you should be
Yeah.
constantly evolving. But I'm curious, are you nervous about working on your next record? Because you've already said you're in the works of it. People are loving this record, so are you
Yeah.
kind of building that anxiety and nervousness with releasing that one?
I mean, I think every record, well, first of all, like we're not as big as we possibly can be in my
Mm.
mind. Like
Hmm.
in my mind, like we have a long way to go, but we have a lot of potential, you know?
Oh,
In my mind, there's like more of the mountain to climb. I don't think we're at the top of it yet.
no.
That's how I've always looked at it. That's how I'll, continue to look at it in the future, no matter how big we get, you know?
Mhm.
Um, so like this is the one that people have enjoyed the most. But previously, that was Celebrity Therapist. It was just this one's such a significant growth in
Mhm.
comparison that it's definitely something I'm nervous about and something I'm thinking about. Um, but like at the same time, like uh, really, I just want to make good and cool records, and
Yeah.
our next one is our last one on our label, and
Mhm.
you know, uh, we just want to make something really cool and good that we would want to listen to. So, you know, that's kind of the only criteria. Like, I don't think people can expect us to write another like concept album. I think that, that would be retreading territory. We've done that at this
Yeah.
point, you know. Um, and I've like denied it being a concept album in other interviews and stuff, but for the sake of this one, I'm gonna call it that.
Yeah, why
Um,
not?
yeah, why not? Life's short.
Right.
So I just, I'm nervous, but like the stuff that we have in the works right now, which is probably not going to be on the next album, the stuff that we have in the works right now, I'm like extremely excited about, and it
Good.
sounds like nothing like this record.
Mhm.
It's way heavier. So like
Hell yeah.
I'm stoked on what we're doing next. I have like kind of the direction and the like I I see our albums as like colors. Just I
Mhm.
don't know if that makes sense. Like I just the way I process things with my brain, like I just I see all of our albums as like more than that. I see them as colors. I see them as feelings. This is all so pretentious, and I'm waving my fingers enough to make you think I'm smart.
I'm following. I'm
Um,
following.
and the next one, like I'm starting to have those feelings towards it. I'm starting to know what color it is. I'm starting to know what
Nice.
direction it is.
Starting to
So I
see
don't
it.
know what it is
Yeah.
yet.
Okay.
But I know that it's gonna be cool. That's nothing we ever do is not going to be cool to me. And by that definition, there's never going to be any sort of like sellout moment. Although some people
Yeah.
are calling, lemon and two-headed trout that, and I don't really care. But
Like, who gives a fuck? Who gives a
yeah,
fuck?
who
Lemon
who
fucks.
cares?
So
Yeah.
I don't care.
Noise,
Okay.
noise,
Yeah.
Yep.
noise.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
who
Yep.
gives a
Yeah, yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
Yeah.
Knock it
Yeah.
off.
Whatever. Anyway. So back to this record. Are you able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating it?
Yeah. Uh, I'd say this is probably the most mentally unhealthy I've ever been while we were making a record.
Damn. All right. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just like I didn't feel good about where we were as a band. We had just accepted that Silverstein tour in Europe, and we had just accepted the Chiodos tour that we just did.
Hmm.
And like, just where our numbers were was like, I don't think anybody on our team was like very happy with it, but like, I talked to them about it and they'd be like, I talked to them about it and they'd be like, you haven't released an album in a little while. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
But like secretly secretly in my mind, they're all like behind the scenes being like, please let this next album work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please,
Hmm.
finish it quickly, but make sure it's perfect and make sure that people
Makes a
like it. Make
splash,
sure
and
that,
Exactly.
it
Yeah.
moves the
it's
needle substantially, and yada yada
exactly,
yada.
like that's so like I think that I was very insecure about the place that we were at, but out of that insecurity, was like just I was like, I have to lock in and make like the best fucking thing I've ever made in my life, which
Okay.
I did put a lot of stress on myself to do that.
Hmm.
And there was like a lot of just like anguish, and like I kind of walked around with a fucking thundercloud above my head all day, which was not great for
Yeah.
the rest of the band, but like we came out of it okay. There was one moment where we finished recording the record in November, and there was a moment where like we had announced this Christmas show that we were doing, um and it was like in this small ass room in Atlanta. It's not that small, but it's a pretty small room, and
Mhm.
like I just was like constantly looking at ticket sales, and it was just
Worst thing you
like
can do.
worst thing you absolutely the worst thing
Mhm.
that you can do. But like I was so just like I was like, oh my God, we're cooked. Like I was like,
It's
no.
over.
I was like, it's
Mhm.
it's over. Like, and
Mhm.
that show eventually sold out, and it was incredible, and it was
Damn
super
straight.
fun, and like,
Mhm.
it was great. But like, there's just something, I the reality of it is just I gotta find a healthier way to make records, and like that's kind of what it made me feel was like, I just I gotta figure that out, and that's something I just got to deal with.
Mhm.
Well,
Definitely.
Sorry for my little sob story.
no, you're good.
No.
Here's the hoping that the next one is a bit more positive for you.
It
Mhm.
might take me out, man. It might,
Oh wait,
It might kill me.
wait.
Who knows?
Wait a
all this like
It
need to
might
find a
kill me,
healthier
dude. I
thing.
don't know.
Might be the last
You're
one.
like,
might be a real fuck of a record. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
No, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
God damn.
Jesus Christ.
So this
Fuck.
question,
Sorry.
this question should be super super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words, no more, no less.
Can I do a compound word
Yeah.
that is technically 2 words?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Bull.
It's not at all what I thought you were going for.
Uh, Victory.
Okay.
All right.
Extreme.
Whoa.
Extreme Red Bull victory
Victory.
is what I would.
That's baller,
describe
man.
this as.
That's awesome.
Okay. And are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the album, positive or negative?
I mean, the one that I talked about earlier with Country Song was probably the one that sticks in my mind the most. I'm trying to think. I'm doing some very like ambitious stuff vocally. Um, and I think I went in just being like, oh, I'll do it how I normally always do it. But
Hmm.
the vocal sessions between me and our producer Dom, which like I've known Dom for a decade. He's one of my best friends. Um, and I think that like in a situation like that, that's kind of who you need. Because he was just such a hard ass on me. He was just such like he was like, no excuses. Like, you hit this the way you want to hit it. You're
Yeah.
not backing off on anything. Um, and honestly, I was just so impressed with how far he pushed me, and he just had such good notes. Um, he's, he's our guy now too. Like, I don't think there's going to be like a big producer that like woos us in the next few years or whatever. He's
All
like,
right.
he's my dude. Like he really, really took me to a different level on this one and just pushed me so hard. I like the way I think of the vocal days for this record is like just every day I would wake up and I'd just be like, fuck!
Gotta do it
Like,
again,
to
man.
do this shit again, man. Just
Mhm.
pure agony. So,
Yeah.
like, I kind of wish I made it easier for myself, but I'm glad I didn't because the results were just really good, and like I can feel it now for sure that I'm just a better singer than I was.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
Damn
Hell
straight,
yeah.
as it should be.
And for this last question, boom, you're on a desert island. You can bring one movie, one album, and one person. Who and what are you bringing?
Um. Well, I'm bringing my lovely girlfriend Amber.
Mm.
One movie I'm gonna say In Bruges.
Mm.
I love that movie. I can rewatch that all day because at least it's like you know, it's not like gloomy like all the other movies that I like. There's lots of jokes in Bruges.
Hmm.
One album though. Ugh. Ugh. Clarity, Jimmy Eat World.
Nice.
All right,
That's a
damn.
solid
Yeah,
pick.
there you go. There
All
you
right.
go. That's just like the one that immediately comes to mind. I was gonna do a Fall Out Boy one, but I don't think there's one that I could have. I think that if I had one, it would just make me mad that I didn't have the others. Which
That's
is
fair
also
American
enough.
how I
Beauty,
feel
American
about Jimmy Eat
Psycho.
World.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh, ugh,
I
ugh.
know.
You must
No.
listen to my podcast.
Oh. You don't like American Beauty, American Psycho?
I think it's the worst one. Yeah, like by far.
The
I'm on
worst?
record. I have 80 episodes of me saying that it's the worst one. Yes.
The worst is crazy. Because
What do
that
you
could go
think
to
the
their
worst is?
fucking debut. That shit was hot ass.
Evening out
Fucking
with your girlfriend?
eating out,
Or
yeah, evening out with your ex-girlfriend. Yeah.
uh I mean
It's a Blink-182 ripoff.
that's not technically a record though. That's technically an EP.
Technically, fuck you. Yeah, fuck you.
Well, it's actually hot ass.
You know what?
Hot
Hey,
fucking ass.
you know what? There are others. There are others that I would say are
We
ass.
just did it. For those who don't know, I have a Fallout Boy podcast.
Mhm.
Not sorry to plug this on your
No,
show,
you're-
but
dude, go for it.
well, I plugged it on a different show and they cut it out. So
No.
We're not
Oh.
cutting it out. Don't worry.
Shade.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
yeah.
We're actually
Um,
cutting the entire episode. is
Yeah,
what's gonna
yeah.
happen.
Well,
It's just
I'm,
gonna be
I'm
a good
emailing
idea.
your publicist after this
Probably
and
a
being
good
like, we're not
call.
running this
Yeah.
one. Sorry.
No, he plugged his podcast too many times. Actually.
We just did I have a Fallout Boy podcast called This Ain't a Scene, It's a Podcast. We episode 80, we just did the opening track from Evening Out with Your Girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it's we hated it. But as far as like the mainline albums, American Beauty, American Psycho is just like I really hate the way it sounds, number one.
Okay.
It's like the way that I always talk about it on the show is like Save Rock and Roll, they were coming out of like Pete getting more into production, like
Mhm.
because you know at its in the hiatus, Pete was like doing like electronic music.
Yeah.
So when they come into Save Rock and Roll,
So
he
punk.
is like he's throwing those elements into that record,
Yeah.
but they're still trying to make it sound like a band is playing in the room. So there's
Mhm.
this awful disconnect of like a song like Death Valley, the song that has the dubstep drop, like it just sounds
So
so strange in between like rock choruses that like they don't really have it figured out.
Mhm.
And then it's and like the on Save Rock and Roll, the like band in a room elements are taking over the electronic production
Mhm.
elements. And then it's reversed on American Beauty, American Psycho. All the electronic elements are overwhelming the band. You can't hear
Yeah.
what's actually being played by the band. Which is what I hate
It's
about
just
it.
so fun. It's just like it's fun.
Not though.
I think
Like,
you
It
just
is.
explained. I think you just put into words why I also am not a big fan of the record because I couldn't quite
like-
figure it out.
yeah, like Centuries is like there's guitar in that song, but like
blown
there's
out.
like well, it's blown out, and there's also just this like constant level of noise that is blocking out anything in the mid range that you would be able to discern as a guitar, except for that little riff in the chorus that's going bow down 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 down. So like I've talked about Fall Out Boy once a week. I could do this
Yeah.
for 5
No, this
more
is like me
hours.
with Don Broco. This is awesome to like see, but in a different
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
It's like so like that song in particular, I think is so grating. The production also just does not have any bass in it. And when it does have bass, it's overwhelming everything else.
Yeah.
And then like there's some all right songs on it. I think Novocaine is a pretty good song. I think
Great
the
song.
title track is a pretty good song.
So fun.
I think Irresistible is like one of the worst songs they've ever written.
I was gonna say
uh,
fucks, but okay, whatever.
No. There's
It's just
like there's like a air cannon noise
mhm.
when the chorus of Irresistible hits
Yeah.
that like
any
any other producer
Mhm.
any other producer in pop music would have had that like as the lowest thing in the mix, and it's like it's louder than every other instrument. It's a fucking air cannon, and it's like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah. Shits and
But
giggles,
like
man.
the year after Panic at the Disco puts out Death of a Bachelor, and it's the
Yeah.
same producer,
Mhm.
and it sounds so much better. Like I think Death of a Bachelor sounds amazing. I think that record
It's an
is
incredible
very
record.
good.
Yeah, that is one of their
Um,
best records. Yeah.
But then, so after American Beauty and American Psycho, they do
Mhm.
Mania, and the problem
Fucks.
is like they finally have figured out how to merge the rock and electronic elements.
Yeah.
The songs just are nowhere near as good as Save Rock and Roll or
Yeah.
American Beauty and American Psycho. But
Yeah.
I like Mania more than both of those.
Mhm.
So I could do this for another
All
12
right. Well,
hours.
but before you do that, we do have to start wrapping this one
I'm
up.
sorry.
No, it's
No,
okay.
this
It's
was
okay.
incredible.
This
I
was
loved
this was a
it.
great
You're
little
wrong.
tangent.
You're
Corey,
wrong,
You should
but-
come on the show. You should
Yeah.
come on the show.
Honestly, I would love to because I
I'll
would
hit
love
you
to
up
talk
about
this
it.
record with
Yeah.
you because I would
I
die
for-
for it.
I forget
Yeah.
which song we're doing next. Oh, we're doing a Macklemore song that Fall Out Boy features on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want to come on for that one.
No,
You
I
don't
think
wanna
I'll
come
skip
on
that
for
one respectfully.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'll wait for a good one and have you on.
Thank you. If you do 4th of July, let me know.
We've already done 4th of July.
Fuck. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
It's a good show though. It's a really good show. You can.
Yeah.
I suggest you just go look at the 4th of July episode.
Yeah, so you can shit all over it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, thank you. Now this has been Carson from the Callous Daoboys, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.